All right, Hero 9 died. I looked up the battery power on Hero 8, 0. Then I remembered that I have a second battery. Here we go. Check the second battery. It's 100%. At least something is going right today. All right, boys and girls, now we just have to hook up to the trailer. I already checked my chains this morning. They're all good. They're not a single chain became loose during this power expedition. I was just afraid somebody would hit me, you know, overnight. Like lots of guys were coming real close. Made me nervous. I probably woke up like 5 times overnight. All right, so now we have to hook up to this bad boy. And it takes me usually, it doesn't take me 2 minutes because I don't want to damage the frame of the truck. So I put in petrol in Fargo, and Google calculated that it's 422 clicks. I cannot see anything. I think actually we're gonna be okay. Like there's a member plate in there. And the kingpin sometimes can hit that plate if you're too low. What? Wow. Looked like it hooked up. What do you know? That was faster than usual. Okay, electric. Check. Red line. Check. Blue line. Check. PTO. Check. Check 2. We are good. Now all we have to do, start the PTO. I don't want to put all the weight. Oh, wait a second. Oh, it's because the red button is... Come on. Kill the PTO. And we're putting the air. We're putting the air in the trailer and the Jeep. Now in a second I'm gonna jump out, check that the fenders on the Jeep are in high position. Yeah, it's going up. Yeah, see, these I usually know. I look at this and I can see they're moving, so the airbags are filling up. Now look at this. Look at the fender. I put my finger like this and you can see slowly a gap growing between the bottom of the flap and my finger. So the airbags are expanding, so this thing will be higher. Yeah, as long as there's a gap, you know, between the fenders. And look at this. That's how these guys installed the fender. It's constantly touching my... I think I'm just gonna get rid of them, you know. Like this other guy that I showed you the trailer, his trailer, he says on their... all their company Jeeps, they don't run any fenders on them, because when they load this on the trailer, this is where they put the wheels of the Stinger, of the booster. They use it as a cradle of civilization. All right, here we have position 3. Here everything is inflated. Let's check the flashing light. Beautiful. Christmas came early this year. All right, finally we can leave. By the way, I learned one more interesting thing from the girl named Corey. She was talking to somebody on the phone as I was waiting, just to tell her thanks for all her help. She was giving somebody the address of their shop, and she says Minot, North Dakota. And my ears, you know, perked up right away, like, wait a second, Minot? I always said Minot, North Dakota. Turns out that's not how locals say it. Minot, man. All right, so that's my accordion in there. Of course, I bet this, if I leave it like this thing is gonna fall off. That's my dirty laundry. I've been accumulating that, like I've been a very good laundry accumulator. I've been accumulating that since September. When did I stop at home? I should have done laundry when I stopped to pick up the Jeep, but for some reason I didn't. All right, let's go. Well, I'm approaching the truck stop in Carrington, and guess who's back? You see that? Check engine light. Came back about 10 minutes after I started driving with the trailer. I talked to a bunch of people as I was driving with my, because I have this Blue Parrot. Love this thing. So I talked to a couple of guys. Everybody says delete it, get your truck deleted. And then I talked to another guy. He says, yeah, but be aware that now there's a special police roaming the roads of Ontario, and they check trucks. I said, yeah, exactly. So because I know one guy who deleted all these emissions, and then they caught him and they took the license plate off. I said, I don't want to do it, you know. And the way they catch you is, if you don't have any emissions, your truck will eventually start throwing some black smoke, right? That's how they catch you. When they see black smoke, especially when it's coming out of two pipes. Because these smart cookies, they know that modern trucks like mine, we only have one pipe connected to the engine, right? And so that's what they're used to. They're used to one pipe throwing white smoke in winter, not two pipes throwing black smoke, right? And that's the problem. So I know one guy, he got caught, and they took the plate, and they said you have two options. Option A is you reinstall the emissions, and option B is you sell the truck as is. And like Western Canada, they all do this, right? Because this thing doesn't work in there very well. Oh, I'm almost in a straight line. Man, I'm a genius. And I asked one more guy, he says, you might lose that check engine light. If this was the dirty air filter, he says it might stay on, you know, till the sensor decides. Like, let's say the code is inactive, right? And then the sensor decides, you know, it's gonna keep track on your performance. If that thing doesn't happen, let's say 3, 4, you know, 500 miles, then the engine light can disappear. So yeah, I see from here we are 221 kilometers. You see, I like how here, you know, I came here many times, right? I like how here you can find truck stops pretty much like every 200 clicks or 120 miles. And so this is Dickinson. I love this little truck stop. See, price $344, same as in Minot, North Dakota. And inside they have a nice deli in here. There's a restaurant in there. Yeah, Coke and Barrel. And I gotta go. This is new. They built probably a couple of years ago. I gotta go around this traffic circle that way. And so 2 more hours, and I will have I'll be at the Petro in Fargo. Yeah, I'm just trying to cool the engine. Maybe that was the problem also, you know, like a couple of times I shut it down, you know, like you're supposed to run it for like 5 minutes or so, but I just drove maybe a mile, 2 miles. There was a speed limit 45 miles per hour. And one more guy I talked to, he asked me, this nice guy Ben, if you're watching this, hi, thanks for all the tips. He's in Virginia, Russian guy, but with the English name, Ben. Speaks Russian, speaks English, speaks Ukrainian. And it's funny, like we talk together and we constantly switching into English, you know, like hey Ben, как дела? How are things? Oh, отлично, хорошо, how are you? Because, you know, we grew, well, I didn't grow up here, right? But I spent so much time here in North America. Like for me, I remember actually my mom was kind of like sad. She asked me, she says, Sergei, when you think or when you dream, do you dream in English or Russian? I said, well, not sure about dreams, but I said when I think, quite often I think in English. And for some reason she was very sad to hear that. So basically that was kind of like telling her that I'm turning into, you know, into a Wolverine or something, like I'm turning into an American or a Canadian. I guess she talked to somebody, you know, she talked to one of these old gals that know everything. Oh, ask him if he still thinks in Russian or he still thinks in English. So that's what's happening. And so, oh, and this guy says, oh, that's, sorry, I got distracted again. And this guy Ben says, how often you change your oil? And I said, well, based on KWOPA recommendations, the Kenworth recommendations, and these recommendations, man, I gotta shave my face. I'll do it when I get back, I promise. I said, based on Kenworth recommendations, it depends on your fuel economy. And I remember I looked at mine, and mine is below 5 miles a gallon, because I do this heavy stuff, right? And they tell you 25,000 miles, which is 40,000 kilometers. And I like that number because my odometer is in metric, and I cannot go something that's uneven because it's hard to keep track of. But you know, 40,000 clicks, 25,000 miles, it's easy for me. But this guy Ben says, oh no. He says we change. He says we run a. He has like 3 trucks or 4 trucks, but he buys them used, and but you know, they're in good condition. He doesn't buy new ones, so he buys them used. Like I think he just bought 2010 truck, and he says we change oil every 15,000 miles. I said, well, I remember that number. That's how I changed oil when I had that yellow International, right? But then when I got the Mac, I started changing it less frequently, and now it's pretty much the same, 25,000 miles. I think that it was the same on the Mac. And he says they run a fleet of dry vans, and with dry vans they change oil every, I think he said every 20,000 miles. But on his heavy trucks, he still does it every 15. And so I talked to another guy from Canada. I said, how about you? How often you guys change oil? And he does heavy haul. He says 20,000 clicks. So what? 20,000 kilometers, that's, I don't know, that's like 12,500 miles. That's like really old school. And as well, but we do it all ourselves. We do it in the shop, so you know, for them the cost is nominal, so I wouldn't do that. But I'm thinking maybe, you know, I'll switch to 30,000 clicks, which is what, 6 times, which is like just under 20,000 miles, you know. I think that's what I'll do. So now let's say I change the oil. My odometer had read 310,000. So now instead of waiting 40,000 kilometers, I'll wait 30. So next time I'll change oil, it'll have 340,000 kilometers. I think that's what I'll do. I'll just remember number 3. So Troitsa, so 30,000 kilometers. Hold on. 30,000 divided by 1.609. Oh yeah, it's 18,600 miles. I think that's pretty good. You know, that's closer to the old school, and I think it's probably a good idea. I just hope these mountains that I went through with these last 2 loads, I hope they didn't kill my turbo. But most guys I talk to about this, they say, yeah, first, you know, don't go bonkers, don't go crazy. It can be just a sensor, the speed you know, the sensor on the turbo that measures the RPM. So that's the easiest solution. Bad sensor, just change the sensor. But if it's turbo, we definitely in for some downtime, because parts now are scarce. But I definitely, if I need a new turbo, I'm not gonna buy brand new one from Kenworth in Canada. Forget that. I'm gonna get like a aftermarket baby turbo that will last a couple of months, you know, maybe till I make some money. No, I can get aftermarket turbo, you know, I think they're like 2-3 grand US in the States. They're way cheaper than in Canada. But what do you do? Things happen. But I'm really surprised at this comments, you know, like the mechanic, the guy who did the diagnostic, he says these Cummins engines, he says, they're not put together very well. Those were his words. And like his theory is that Cummins builds them on purpose so that they don't last forever, because they sell parts, right? So if you make an engine that lasts like 10-15 years without repairs, then you cannot sell parts, right? And that does make sense. So then we have a conspiracy on our hands, you know. Yep, stays on. And I was driving 60 miles an hour, so I did 60 liters. Whereas before, when I was driving slower, I think I did 53, 54. So yeah, it's definitely worse. But and the wind, there was a very strong wind, like sideways. Yeah, 60 liters is not good for a 56,000 pound load. I don't like this exit because I'm too long. We're gonna make a circle. Like these guys now have another edition. I don't remember seeing before is they have those beans to cup machines. They have a bunch of them with different flavors. I got blueberry. It's called blueberry cobbler. Yeah, I went through this town before. I just want to show you guys this. What's with this guy? Just doing circles over here. Oh man, that's not good. There's an island in the middle. Why do they have to do this?
100 meters at the traffic circle. Take the first exit onto US 281 South, US 52 East.
And this lady is standing there. Why is she standing? She says go, go. Okay. Okay, I'm going. Junction with 94, 43 miles. So let's see, my turbo, does it go to 30? I think before I was looking at that, I had a feeling it was doing full power. But that's why I drove it 60 miles per hour. Okay, see this guy is blinking. That means there's a cop somewhere there, because the speed limit is 25 miles per hour, which is 40 clicks an hour. So, and the guy just passed in front of me. He had a black car, and now they have a radar right where it says 25. It shows my speed. And there's a cop right there. Cool. So he's sitting there and he's looking at the sign. Cool looking car. Where did I see that one before? Oh, it's a Charger. Hold on. And he's probably watching the rear sign there, because it has a radar. So he doesn't even have to stick out anything through his window, right? And I walked here from the truck stop. This is pretty far, but this is a nice grocery store. And I've been to this park over here. So yeah, I got blueberry cobbler, very tasty coffee. And over here on the right, they have a nice hardware store. Remember, I had an issue with my PTO lines in the back. They were leaking oil, and turns out I had those rubber gaskets inside. One out or something happened, and so that's the store. It's called Runnings. I went to there, and I was 90% positive they will not have anything similar, but they have a lot of different what they call them, O-rings, right? And I brought the old one, and we found the proper diameter, and I even was able to buy some tools, you know, like a hook like this, like a screwdriver with the hook at the end, which makes it easier to take out the old one. So it was a pretty cool store. Yeah, I think now I'll just go with my average speed. Because yeah, I see that I'm wasting fuel. Oh, they're building something here. Check this out. Bunch of excavators, a crane. Looks like either a gas line or oil line. Set it at 92 clicks an hour, so 56, 57 miles per hour.